Oh, do I feel good today? Normally, Tuesdays in the DTL universe are a day to exhale. Not when you get to week 12 of the National Football League. What's good, everybody? Welcome in. We are here every single day. We are live 6 days a week, Saturdays on demand. We are on 4 p.m. Eastern time on Stadium and all of its platforms, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV. We are now on DirecTV. So check us out at 4 p.m. Eastern in the afternoon. Last night, you guys came strong again on Primetime Live as the Texans got it done, blowing out the Cowboys, barely cashing the over. Joe Mixon, 3 touchdowns as he continues to be a beast. And I'm not doing anything from driving the line anymore. It is straight up my name. I told AB, nobody's talking trash. So I've already, because I lost my bet last night, and I am a man of my word, have gifted 5 memberships to several lucky people. You got to be watching live, though. If you're not a premium member, what are we doing? What are we doing? All right, you guys know I got the best damn crew in the business. But first and foremost, we've got a ton of content, and we always look back and look at it last night. Very nice. AB coming through strong. Raphael, shout out to you, coming through strong. Charles, 1 out of 2. And the money line NBA parlay, unfortunately, didn't hit, but it was plus 160. As I mentioned, tons of content across all of our platforms. Just subscribe to our YouTube page. It's the easiest thing to do. You get a lot of extra stuff, too, if you're a premium member, including a fresh podcast video every day if you want to download the audio. We encourage that, too, over at Pantheon on all the platforms. Audio, 2 p.m. Eastern time. The video, normally 3 p.m. Eastern time. All right, if you would like to vote, and you are on our YouTube page right now, if you're in the chat, hit the like button. And here are the choices, as a lot of big-name teams in college hoops are playing tonight. So who do we want to roll with together? Purdue, Marquette, minus 3.5, UNC Wilmington, plus 22, or my number one, Kansas Jayhawks, laying 22 points tonight. So all of that is now done, and we love to have a good time. We love to start your day off with some laughs and a little bit of learning, too. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the picks. And today is an embarrassment of riches. First and foremost, let's get all of the pleasantries out of the way. Producer man, can you bring up on the screen, please, exactly what I was talking about? And DG, congratulations. You took me down last night. I took care of business. I am square with the universe.
Good morning, Coach. I went 3-0, but honestly, I feel like I went 5-0 when you lost your 2. So that's kind of it feels good. I don't know what that feeling is, but it just feels right.
Damn it, I wanted that hat. He's got the best beard in the game, and today, boy, he comes because he's got a new young rival that he's trying to show the ropes to and dominate. Soupy, what's good?
I'm feeling good. I went 4-0 yesterday, better than DG. That makes me happy. And now I'm about to go 3-0 in my prize picks and show Peyton how it's done.
Yeah. You guys were so good, we didn't even bother throwing it up on the recap page. Nobody's going to bitch about not seeing a bunch of check marks. So you add that to the other 5. We had a fantastic day here at the brand. And another man who went 1-2 yesterday, because he always kicks us off a little bit of day soccer, even on a break. He is the man from the Dirty. Big Chuck, good morning.
Morning, Coach Crew. Yeah, congratulations to everyone on their successful Monday. Big Tuesday ahead, big week ahead. I'm ready to get it going.
I can tell that you are, sir. And finally, the man who has come into the universe like a house on fire. And he has been texting me all night. He's up, ready to go. He says, Coach, PrizePicks is my thing. I don't even know what Soupy's talking about. From Dallas, Fort Worth, young Peyton, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. It's a little cold out here. I think it's like 55 this morning, but yeah, I'm going to have to put on a little hoodie to go to class. But, I hope Soupy goes 3-0 today just to kind of keep up with me because I'm feeling 3-0. I'm feeling 3-0 today.
Wow. He's talking trash while thinking about walking across campus to the class. Soupy, that is next level kind of capping right there, no?
55 degrees and you're cold. Come on, Dan. Come on.
Hey, last semester I spent in Boston, so that was a whole nother animal.
And you're saying 55 degrees is cold. Come on.
Gotham says it's bring your kid to work day. Oh my God. I love young Peyton being a part of the universe out there. Real quick, guys, before we get to our picks today. And of course, everybody else, not everybody, we love You Better You Bet, but a lot of shows, they take Tuesdays off or they say, we're not going to do it. We look at it as an opportunity. And DG, last night, it was kind of the game we thought we would get. Kind of boring. CJ Stroud played pretty well. Joe Mixon is showing that he's an absolute rock star, and the Cowboys continue to suck.
Joe Mixon started off the season kind of sluggish, a little slow out of the gates, but man, he has just completely turned it on, especially the last 3 games. But he looked so good last night. It's hard not to look good against that Cowboys defense. But, Coach, we had a chance. We had multiple chances to get that plus 500, 2 TDs from our guy, Cooper Kareem Rush. He just couldn't pull through.
He just couldn't do it. By the way, Gathan, my apologies. I hate mispronouncing names. I was thinking about you last night. We had so many plus things that were so close. I was like, complete a pass, damn it. Just complete a pass. And Soupy, now all of the discussions are now starting when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. At 3-7, I think we can officially put a fork in them. And when Dak is shown 10 times taking notes up in his suite, did you guys notice that? He's taking notes. What have we done now in Dallas, Soupy?
Well, maybe Jerry Jones has finally hired a GM in Dak Prescott. He's just taking notes like, you're cut next year. You're cut next year. I think now it's time for this coming Thursday, Thanksgiving. Right? Nope, next Thursday. Right? I don't know. I don't know my schedule. But it needs to be Trey Lance time. Trey Lance versus Tommy Cutlets. Does it really matter right now with any of these teams? Just give us the entertainment of those two going at it in a game for mediocrity.
Did you say Tommy Cutlets?
Tommy Cutlets.
From the Giants. You call him Tommy Cutlets?
Tommy Cutlets.
I can already feel like you notice, DG, how Soupy's a little bit off when his big competition comes to town. I'm already kind of feeling that right now. I kind of am. Charles, let me come over to you because there's a lot of discussion for a lot of different things. But Jerry Jones said that Mike McCarthy, he hasn't lost the team. But when I watch this team and I look at the effort right now, the effort's just not there. And I'm starting at the top. Like CeeDee Lamb just looked like he didn't really want to be there last night.
It looks like they're going through the motions. Yeah, Jerry's just going to say he's going to be there, but we all know change is coming. He usually doesn't do it in the middle of the season, so he's just staying the course. So, yeah, I'm expecting big changes. The rumor mill's Dion and his son coming to town, so we shall see. I know that'll be a narrative and a developing story we'll follow through the offseason.
You can't draft a quarterback when you just signed your guy to over $200 million guaranteed, but we'll see. Young Peyton, you live in the metro. You get all of the local stuff. I save you for last. How bad has it gotten in Dallas-Fort Worth?
So depressing, but I was expecting it, and like I said before last week, I said these fans are looking for new teams to root on, and they are just in a bad shape right now. And Cooper Rush, I mean, when was the last time you've seen him throw 55 times? That must have been back to like Central Michigan or something. But I mean, Cooper Rush throwing the ball 55 times is insane. His arm must be falling off this morning. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Oh, Maddie says, I'm truly enjoying sports talk these days. Cowboys taking strays everywhere. Maddie, they deserve it. When you're worth over $10 billion and you don't do anything for 27 years, what are we doing? All right, gentlemen, we had a fantastic weekend. We had a great Monday, check marks across the board. But these good people who've already all hit the like button on their way in as OGs and degenerates, they come here for a new day. And on Tuesdays, I feel really good about what we have going on. Charles, I need to come over to you because we've got picks from almost every single sport. Start us off.
The Nations League, it wraps up today with our first match featuring the Czech Republic, who averaged 3 team goals at home, while Georgia, not the Bulldogs, averaged 1.2 goals away from home in 2024. These two teams have also combined for 7 goals in their last 2 meetings. Give me the both teams to score that is also cashed in 2 straight between these countries. Next, Sweden versus Azerbaijan. Sweden has been on a roll in their last 5 matches. They've scored 13 goals at an average of 2.6 per outing. In the spot where I see a blowout at home, I'll back Sweden team total over 2.5.
Can I tell you the only thing that's not driving me insane is the fact that we're cashing tickets. These damn international breaks are driving me up a wall. Thank God we got Big Chuck. All right, DG, coming up to you, big boy, because now college basketball and the NBA starting to cut through, I think, just a little bit, even though football has dominated. What do you got tonight?
We're going with Kentucky. Team total over 91.5. It's at -110. We're going against a Nashville-based team in Lipscomb, so we're going to pick on them just a little bit. But Kentucky runs a fluid-type offense where everybody kind of eats, where they can pass the ball, shoot up threes, run and gun. It's going to be Kentucky all day. We're going to get them at 92-plus points here at -110. They're going to go to my Grizzlies. But we're going to go with Desmond Bane, a.k.a. the Honey Bun, over 5.5 rebounds at +122. He's hit this in 5 straight. In the last 2 games, he has crushed this number, had 10 rebounds versus Denver last game, which was Sunday. They're going against Denver again tonight in the Cup. Desmond Bane, Honey Bun, over 5.5 rebounds at +122.
What the hell is a honey bun being used as a nickname for a shooter in the NBA?
Well, he went to TCU with Peyton, and he was given the nickname Honey Bun because he walked into practice practically every day eating a honey bun. And so Coach, who I spoke with, called him Honey Bun, and it kind of stuck there at TCU.
Interesting. I thought that's what you called Big Cheesy in your little bromance world.
That's Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah. Big Cheesy is Honey Boo Boo. All right, Soupy, big boy, I got 2, and you're talking about one of the games tonight that we'll talk about a little bit later on in Educate and Entertain. The Cavs are perfection. Talk to me.
Can they stay perfection? This is going to be a tough task for them, but I'm expecting points. Cavs, Celtics, top 2 in points scored per game. Cavs, very fast-paced. Celtics have to try to slow them down, but I think that's going to be impossible. Celtics, very efficient shooting team. I think the winner is going to need to have 120 points at least. So I think it's going to stay close. That's why I'm hitting the over 232. And I'm going to tell you what my pop always said. Bet smart and not with your heart. I'm betting against my Penguins against the Lightning. Lightning coming off 2 straight wins, scoring 4 goals in each against the Jets and the Devils, 2 very good defensive teams. Penguins last in goals allowed and last in shots on goal allowed. The Lightning should roll. 3-way means they have to win this game in regulation. If it goes to overtime, it is a loss.
All right, very good. I got 1 minute exactly for you, young Peyton. Give me your 2.
All right, I'm going with the Minnesota Wild over 3.5 team total goals at +115. The Blues allow 3.5 goals per game against a Minnesota team that really explodes for almost 4 goals per game on the road. The Wild are coming off a loss to the Stars where they only scored 1 goal. I like their offense coming out strong tonight. My second pick is going to be OKC Thunder to cover the spread at 8.5 against the Spurs, possibly without Wembanyama, who's doubtful for this game. And Wemby affects every play offensively and defensively for the Spurs. I just don't see them being able to keep up with the Thunder without him. So to celebrate this pick, got my Thunder shirt on tonight. Let's go, baby. Thunder up.
Wow. He's got the Thunder shirt on tonight. I got a little bit distracted because I just noticed you made a trip to Champ Sports to get that background going today. So that's really nice. DG, when was the last time that you had a pennant like that in your room? 8 years old?
It's been a long time ago. I see him growing each and every week. Listen, I'm impressed. You know what? Stay to it. I like it.
Yeah, it was a yard sale, $1 a piece.
$1 a piece. Hey, we live on a budget here at DTL. We know all about that. It's a vibe. We're just getting started. It's Tuesday. Where else do you want to be but right here with your crew? All right, you degenerates out there and all of you OGs watching on our YouTube page, continue to share the word as our base continues to grow. And DG, do you believe Jerry Jones when he says, oh, no, we've been through the valleys before. Oh, no, we've been through bad times before. I think this is as bad as it's been in the 27 years since they last had success.
I don't know about the worst that it's been because there were some bad days there for sure. Being a fan, I promise you it's been worse. There's somewhat hope, but I think that the problem now is financially. Like you're paying a lot of guys, and honestly, the team that you're putting around them is very like kind of mediocre.
That's kind of what I was talking about, is that they've never had a $60 million quarterback, Soupy.
Right.
They have CeeDee Lamb making $40 million, and now it does not matter. So Jerry Jones, I can't listen anymore. I really can't.
The problem is now they used to have a good offensive line. They got rid of a lot of those pieces, and we saw last night Zach Martin, their cornerstone of that offensive line for a long time. He was injured. He might be done for the year. Same thing last year with the defense. Dan Quinn made that a top-tier defense. This year, it is awful. And when you add all the injuries, it's just a mess in Dallas.
Charles, Dan Quinn's in Washington now, and they actually play the Commanders this week.
Can you imagine that the Commanders are actually 10-point favorites? When did you ever actually see the Commanders are going to be that big a favorite against the Cowboys? So this will probably be a spot that they'll probably want to assert some revenge for all the dominance that they've had over the Commanders. But yeah, it's crazy time in Dallas. But you have to think back the early 2000s, the Dave Campo days. They've seen some dark days in Dallas. So it's just it really rides on Dak. If he's injured, the ship goes down. So it's really based on his health. I think that they really want to look at a reliable backup next season also. They might want to invest in that.
Yeah, and I doubt that Shadir Sanders with that ego is going to be a backup in Dallas. He doesn't want to sit there for 3 years. This is all guaranteed money. All that talk, it's just talk. There is no way financially, nor would Deion Sanders allow his son to go to that situation. So we'll see how it all plays out. We are back in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. Best crew in the business, getting you through a Tuesday. It's kind of like that exhale day in the world of sports and sports betting, but we never miss a beat. Producer, man, I need my 5 shot because we're having some issues. We're having some issues because young Peyton has now stirred up a hornet's nest. Big Cheesy says, that looks like my old man cave. That's now my daughter's room. Ouch. Another person saying they used to have that before they had. Did you just talk on mute?
No. I just didn't say anything.
Why are you leaning into the microphone like it can't hear you?
I just wanted to check if it was on.
Wow. I normally don't take in a member of the crew to my talent coaching, which we're starting, by the way. Any young broadcasters out there, you can come to your boy. I'm starting with young Peyton, though. How do you feel about the fact they're teasing you a little bit about the background?
You know, it's all about the picks right now, Coach. If I'm coming on the next morning with just straight green beans, I mean, I want Big Cheesy to tell me how he feels tomorrow morning when I go 5 for 5.
Wow. I like that.
I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
All right. Boom and boom. All right. You guys know on Tuesdays, it's never too early. The NFL lines are always moving. Half points, full points. They mean everything. So 3 featured games as we do every single Tuesday. And DG, let me start with you because when we're talking about the Niners now, they blow it at home, 12 seconds to go. Geno scores, and now they have to go to the Packers. They're 5-5. Brock Purdy has a shoulder injury. They're calling it day to day. Is it finally over for the 49ers?
They look beat up, and I'm unsure what's going on there in San Francisco, but you're talking about a Brock Purdy who's banged up. You're just getting CMC back, who doesn't look the same. Kittle is banged up. They've had injuries throughout their entire team. It might be time that the 49ers, and sorry, Big Cheesy, they might have to ride off into the sunset this season because it might be over.
It kind of feels that way. And Charles, when we look at that number 2.5, the Packers last week against the Bears, they win with a blocked field goal. And a lot of these numbers have been spot on. Would you think that this could potentially go to 3 later in the week?
I absolutely think it could go to 3, especially if they want to get more money on the 49ers. I love the Packers in this spot. I was originally looking at the 49ers, catching anytime you get the 49ers catching points, you definitely want to take a look. But I think this is a Packers spot. I think we could also see some points. It's really relying on the health of the 49ers. But I think this is a Green Bay spot. But we always want to take the Jordan Love interception prop every game. Just keep riding that. I know that for sure. But, yeah, I love the Packers in this position.
That feels like an automatic right there. Big Soupy, let me come over to you, because not only is this a really good one-on-one matchup as far as teams are concerned, you've got two teams that are fighting for their wild card lives. The Packers have been really good, yet they have two teams ahead of them. The Niners have teams ahead of them. They're both in a must-win situation.
The Packers, I think they can secure a wild card spot. The NFC North is just a great division. It's the best division. The NFC West isn't, but that's why you're seeing the 49ers lagging behind all. We never expected that. And it's the injuries. Kittle, Debo's been in and out of the lineup. Ayuk is out for the year. CMC it's going to take him some time. I think he will get better. And if Brock Purdy doesn't play, they're very good at meshing in new pieces, but I think when it's the quarterback position, I think it's going to be very difficult. I love the way the Packers are playing. They're good on both sides of the team. They can run, they can pass, and they can defend. I like them in this spot. Even if it moves up to 3, I'll still take the Packers.
We remember a year ago, young Peyton, when Jordan Love and the Packers came to your city. They came to your town, and they laid it on the Cowboys in the playoffs. At 7-3, we can't lose sight of the fact that in any other division, except the NFC East, they would be a first-place team, but not in the NFC North. So right now, how are you looking at the Packers? Because that 2.5 seems very tasty to me, or I would probably lay the 40 or 50 cents if I want to play the money line.
Yeah, I'd take them by possibly a touchdown in this game. I see them scoring a lot of points. And also, I mean, it's not for me about specifically for Ayuk being out. It's more of the guys who are in, like CMC and Kittle and those guys. They're just not healthy, and they're out there, but they're just not themselves, and they don't look the same. So I'm going to take the Packers by a touchdown and score a lot of points against the Niners.
Yeah, a lot of shots last week. George Kittle on the sideline, hair flowing, in a sweatshirt, not playing once again. Juwan Jennings was the stud last week. Now, let's stay in the NFC West, guys, because DG, the Arizona Cardinals are getting a ton of love. They're 6-4. Every other team in the NFC West is 5-5. So the Seahawks are technically a last-place team, as are the Rams, as are the 49ers. But this is a huge one today. What do you make of the Cardinals laying 1 going to the Pacific Northwest?
This game is practically a pick'em game, but I love the Cardinals here. They're on a 4-game win streak, and I think they have a little bit of moxie behind them. I think they have a little mojo behind them. And Kyler Murray has been playing a little bit better as of late. And so I'm going to ride with the Cardinals here and kind of take the points out of it completely. I'm going to go on the money line for the Cardinals.
See, I like that a lot. And Soupy, the Cardinals have proven to me, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I am not a Kyler Murray fan, but they have won on the road. Remember coming back from down 10 at San Francisco, and they have shown they can win at home. So going on the road for them hasn't really been a big deal this year.
First off, take Tyler Murray and Kareem Rush in your fantasy lineups this week. I'm completely surprised by how well the Cardinals are playing. I didn't really expect them to be that good. I thought maybe a middle of the road team, but they're playing a lot better. You know, Trey McBride is, to me, one of the best tight ends in the league. He's really establishing himself as that top tier tight end. We're not getting the games that we hoped for from Marvin Harrison. It's been a lot of boom or bust this year, but James Conner, when he's healthy, he's one of the top running backs in the league, but he's never healthy that much. But it is great that he is in the lineup every week. He is really helping that team and pushing them over. I like them this week to go into Seattle. Seattle hasn't been as tough at home as they've been in previous years. They lost to the Giants at home, just to let you know.
Just to let me know, Charles, just to let me know. Do you also think Arizona can go into Seattle? Seahawks are a much better team, in my opinion, at home than they are on the road. But coming off that win in San Francisco, we got to have confidence sky high.
I'm liking the Seahawks as the home favorite in this spot. This will really be a monitor position, and I think that maybe a more defensive oriented game, a lower scoring. But as of today, I'm liking the Seahawks. They've actually had the Cardinals number. They've won 5 straight, and it looks like 6 of 7. So they've owned this team. So if you were looking for motivation, that would definitely give Cardinals motivation. But as of today, I'm liking the Hawks at home.
All right, to be accurate, 4-game winning streak, but I get your entire point on what you're talking about. 4-game winning streak. Rams have won 1 in a row. The Seattle, obviously, and then so kind of short streaks unless you are the Arizona Cardinals. All right, Peyton, final game today. And how about all 4 of the NFC West teams being featured this week? That says there aren't a ton of big-time matchups, but that's how important every single game is. The Rams go on the road last week, and they lose. Or excuse me, they win in New England. So they come back home, and they're going to take on the hottest team in the NFC outside of the Detroit Lions. The Eagles now are first place in the NFC East, and they're laying 3 on the road. Is that number correct in your mind, Peyton?
It is, just because of how great they've been playing lately, and they really did prove it last week to me against the Commanders. Now, I would say to go with the Rams here because I just think it's hard for a team to win. I think the Eagles have won 5 or 6 straight, so it's just hard to win 7 games in a row in the NFL. And against a Rams team who really does need to win, I do like taking the Rams here to keep it within a field goal.
So you like the +3. Let's go over to DG. Shout out to Joe. He says, DG killed it last night. Anyone say that yet? Yes, Joe. DG did. DG, your thoughts on the Eagles laying 3. Are you with young Peyton?
The Eagles are frauds. I've said it. I'm going to continue to say it. They're frauds, coach. I hope everybody gets behind it, loads up on the Rams because they're going to win this outright. Just be careful. This number could move up to 3.5, maybe 4, because I think that people are going to load up on the Eagles. And so I'm just going to wait and pick off just at the right time at that Rams money line.
Soupy, do you agree that we could see a road team against a pretty good team lay 3.5, perhaps 4? There's been some number lines the last couple of weeks that really surprised me on where they move to after we feature the game here on Tuesdays.
We could see it move up to 3.5, and I will still take the Eagles. I don't think they're frauds. They are a great defensive team. The Rams, they played the Patriots last week. Solid defense, but we saw them the week prior when they faced the Dolphins. Dolphins defense stepped up, have they been earlier in that year, and the Eagles are even better. I think they can shut down either Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp. When you shut down one of those, you make it very difficult, and they still have a great run defense. If they can contain Kyren Williams, they can easily go into Los Angeles and get a win and keep that streak going. I'm always going to ride with the hot team.
I mean, that's kind of how it feels, Charles, that right now this year in the NFL is kind of the haves and the have-nots. A bunch of teams at the top in the NFC, and these are 2 of them, but the Rams have got to show now with, 7 games to go. It's going to be a race to the finish in their division, and they're underdogs. Is this correct?
Yeah, they should be underdogs just based on their records, but I agree with Peyton and DG. I would definitely look at the Rams, especially catching 3. Anytime we get those home dogs catching 3, and I could see it going to 3.5 or 4, especially in a high-scoring game. I think that favors the Rams. The Eagles, they would want to keep it lower scoring for them to cover. So a higher scoring game, which I do see points, I'll definitely ride with the Rams as a home dog.
Yeah, that's kind of been kind of the game script. And real quick, DG, we have about 45 seconds. One other game that's going to get a lot of attention tonight. We talked about it already with the Cowboys and the Commanders, but that number is 10.5. It just moved. Can you believe that's where we are right now? About, like I said, about 45 seconds.
It's shocking. The fact that the Cowboys have kind of fallen down this low. The Commanders are good. Coming off of a loss, they're going to want to have a little revenge. Talking about Dan Quinn, but also Jaden Daniels showing out. You're going against America's team. A little soft America's team, but you're going against America's team, and Jaden Daniels has a chance to shine.
Shout out to John. He says maybe a 3-team teaser with the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Rams. He says it's a good look. Interesting if we add 6 points to those. All right, it's a good vibe on a Tuesday. The live number is kicking for a day that a lot of other people are taking the day off. And when we come up next, we've got the old guy, my man Soupy, taking on the young, up-and-coming pup that is Peyton. It's PrizePicks time, and we do it next. It's DTL in the morning, and it's a vibe on a Tuesday. All right, we continue on here on our YouTube page, you degenerates out there. And DG, Brock Purdy, day to day, if he is unable to go, how devastating would that be for the Niners?
It would be huge. I don't even know who the backup is, in all honesty. So I think it'll be very, really big. The fact that the rest of the team isn't playing well, and then you're going to a backup, could be trouble in paradise.
Big Soupy.
Brock Purdy has to play.
No. Oh, no. Well, you already gave a membership before the show started, so you're actually even. Try it again.
What'd I say?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm on mute.
I think it was Wi-Fi.
I wasn't on mute. It might have been. Yeah, I wasn't on mute.
You were on mute to the world. That's all we care about.
No, I was good. My microphone was good. No, Brock Purdy has to play. The 49ers, they can mesh. They mesh in the lineup really well. They do replace players very well. But I think when it comes to the quarterback position, it's just that's something that is important. Brock Purdy actually is a good passer. He really is. I think if they keep it one-dimensional, I don't think they can win this game. Young
Peyton?
Yeah, their backup is Joshua Dobbs. It's not too bad, I guess, right? It's kind of fun. But I mean, so they're not totally screwed if Purdy's out. But I mean, I think Jordan Love and the Packers are too good. So I think they're gonna dominate the Niners.
You seem very hesitant on the dominate word. Charles, your take.
Josh Dobbs, yeah, he plays a backup on TV and commercials, so I'm sure he can handle this spot also.
Are they going for like a NASA event? That's the only time I feel comfortable with Josh Dobbs.
By the way, I feel like Josh Dobbs is going to be the next star of the you guys seen the Geico commercials with the backups with oh my God, those are so good. I think it's Geico. It's one of those where you have a career backup, and I don't even know if the normal people know that they were actually backups in the NFL. But if you know, my God, is it funny? Oh my God, is it funny? All right, we are just about back, and you guys know what time it is on a Tuesday as we want all of you out there playing with PrizePicks. But we're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. It is a Tuesday. We have crossed the bottom of the hour. Do not forget, every single weekday, we are on Stadium and all of its platforms at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV Now, YouTube TV, Roku TV, etc., etc. And then Mondays and Thursdays, we are live at 7 Eastern on Stadium and its platforms for DTL Primetime Live. Don't forget, Thursday, it is the Steelers and it is the Browns. All right, every single Tuesday, I have Soupy and I have Young Peyton. Part of the reason we brought Young Peyton it was to challenge the man who actually works for PrizePicks. There's a language. There's a way that you have to play, and we're all in. We're all in. So, Big Soupy, I'm going to allow you to go first since you are the OG, but starting today, we're going to start keeping track, and whoever is the most dominant gets to go first the next week. Are the rules now understood?
Understood, crystal clear. I will be going first every week. It's just, it's fine with me.
I love that. Soupy, you're up. What do we got today?
We're talking Cavs, Celtics, the premier game of the night, and it's an NBA Cup game. How much better can you get? The most important player on that offense is Darius Garland because he is scoring 20 points per game, but he's also averaging 7 assists per game. Celtics are actually very vulnerable against the point guard, allowing the third most points to the position and 8 assists per game. So give me more than 26 points and assists. And then let's go to LeBron, the oldest man that can get the triple doubles. He has done it in 4 of the last 5. Going against the Jazz. Jazz have allowed the 26th most assists per game. He has hit this prop in 4 of his last 5. I think he gets it again tonight. And then we're going to the sweet Maction. Keon Mosey. He is going to mosey along tonight. Over 100 yards in 5 straight. Going going against Northern Illinois, allowing 124 rushing yards per game. He hit this against Ohio just a few weeks ago, who was second in rushing yards and only allowed 97, and he had 111 in that. Should be no problem for Mosey tonight.
How do you think that was, Soupy?
I'll give myself a 9.3. I felt good.
Wow,
about that.
wow, a 9.3.
Yeah,
DG, you are our grader. How was that for you?
I think he's 7.9. Some issues, but I love the Mosey part. That was kind of nice.
I enjoyed that too. And I think some of the people in the chat are, quite frankly, a little bit surprised. Liddy says, did Soupy pre-record that take? Interesting. By the way, there are 3 Maction games tonight. Akron, Kent State, 2-8, 0-10. Western Michigan, Central Michigan, hardcore rivalry. And then Northern Illinois. Have we forgotten that they beat Notre Dame this year? What are we doing? And Notre Dame, excuse me, will be, in my opinion, in the playoffs. All right, young Peyton. Soupy has set the standard. We have 3 plays from PrizePicks for him. I don't believe we have a demon. I don't believe we have a goblin. I don't believe we have any of that. Just straight 3 plays for Soupy, because I'm learning too. All right, young Peyton, you have called yourself the prize pick expert. Show me.
No demons, no goblins for me. We're going to keep it straight up. All NBA Cup. I'm going with Anthony Davis, more than 28.5 points. The Jazz allow 27 points a game to centers, and AD looks better than ever right now. The Lakers are just feeding him, and as they should, because no one really shows that they can stop him. Now, my next pick is going to be Desmond Bane, more than 17.5 points, which I believe just changed to 18 this morning. And with Ja out, my TCU alum, Desmond Bane, he's going to be their number 1 scoring option tonight, and I think 18 is just way too low against a Nuggets team that allows 24 points a game to shooting guards. Cam Thomas, more than 2.5 3-pointers made is what I'm going to wrap up with. And the Nets are facing off against the Hornets tonight, who don't defend the 3 very well at all. So they allow 3.5 threes per game to shooting guards. And Cam Thomas will be the Brooklyn's number 1 scoring option tonight. And he's going to have to knock down shots in order to beat the Hornets.
Now, you said that very confidently, okay? Soupy, you are catching strays all over the place today, because Jason in the chat says, thanks, Soupy. Hey, Peyton, can we now have some winning picks?
DG and Peyton are both on Desmond Bane tonight. Fade the Bane tonight. Fade the honey bun tonight.
Fading the honey bun.
All right.
I have a great Big Show honey bun story I'll tell at the next break for you guys. Edson says, Peyton, would you take Bane over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists tonight?
Yeah, I actually would. I like his assists as well. That's probably something else that would have been another pick for me. And I also like his rebounds just because he's going to be out there on the court playing, and naturally he's going to be getting a couple rebounds as well.
Okay. Yeah, normally when you're on the court, you have a chance to get rebounds. It's, hardcore analysis right there. Yes, champion of your church league.
So Zach Edey is out for the Grizzlies. He is a guy who kind of takes up a lot of space, but the Grizzlies play a type of offense that is more of the get it and go. So a lot of these guards do rebound really well, but they're also, it's a free flowing. So there are a lot of chances for assists. On Peyton's stuff, he is 2 of 12 from 3-point line, but he's shooting 48% the last 2 games. And so if you look at those, there's potential for him to shoot over that big time.
And by the way, where can the good people hear your post game? Is there a post game tonight? Is the Grizzlies playing tonight?
Yep, post game tonight. Grizz 901, part of Bluff City Media. We'll be live immediately after the Grizzlies game.
Boom. That's kind of where DG kind of hones his craft, so to speak, because in 2025, the man's going to be sitting in the seat quite a bit in 2025. So we need him locked and loaded and ready to go. All right. There are several topics today that sometimes we like to get into because it's not just a sports betting show. It's time to educate, entertain. All right, so this is going to be the first one, and I like it. I'll have a question because, DG, you're our resident NBA expert. I was going to say, does anybody care about the NBA Cup? Because I do, but this is a good question. John, you guys got to talk about how the NBA Cup works. Teams were running up the score in those games. What was with that, and how does it affect betting lines? Great question for this NBA Cup topic. Help me out, DG.
Yeah, so it's all about the differential, so the point differential. So depending on if you score 110 and you allow 100, that is a 10-point differential. And so if there ever are ties, it would obviously go head to head. But if everybody kind of evens out the same to get into the playoffs at that point, it would come down to a point differential, which could affect the betting. You could see if it is a big line of a 10.5, 11.5, a double digits, you could see that other team try to stay just close enough and play their starters late into the last 2 minutes, even if they are losing by 20, to try to close in on that point differential or close in on that spread. So be careful about those big spreads in NBA Cup games.
That's exactly what I was looking for. It's completely different than a normal regular season game where if you're down by 20, hell, you punt and you just go to the next game. But Charles, because of all these different things, I'm super into the NBA Cup. Are you?
I love it. It's just like a soccer format, point differential. It's all based off of that. Emirates is involved, so they host a lot of the soccer tournaments across the world. So, and what we saw was call us Emirates. What we've seen is the points being scored. So I've seen a lot of overs in this tournament, high scoring games. So we can look at a lot of those props also, player props, high scoring. I love it.
Yeah, Jason says NBA Cup means no rest day, Soupy, no rest day at all.
And this is another reason why I liked the Cavs and the Celtics, because of this point differential. They want to score. They want to make sure any tiebreakers, they have it. And we're watching all the players saying they want to win it for the guys because of the prize money. You get to split the prize money if you win. So it's been competitive. Teams are into it. And I think it has been better for the brand.
Yeah, I think that's a great point because young Peyton, there's a lot of guys on the bench, and LeBron called them out last year that don't make a whole heck of a lot of money. We talk about the stars all the time making 40, 50 million. There's a lot of dudes that don't even make $1 million, and you can get that by winning this tournament. That's why I think it's so popular within the NBA. You?
Yeah, actually, it's kind of the best of both worlds because I don't need to see the bench players of garbage time coming out because of the thing that DG said of point differential. So I'm still seeing good players play throughout the entire game. And also, I mean, you're also going to be able to watch games like tonight, the Hornets and the Nets. And I'm going to be entertained because guys are playing out of their minds just to win the game for the prize money. And it just makes games like that so much more entertaining.
Hornets and Nets, one of the 6 games tonight, all in the NBA Cup. There's 6 divisions. They all play the other 4 teams in that division at least one time. And DG, we're kind of sleeping on history here. Because of how popular football is, the NBA kind of slides through to January. But as we look at that Cavs and Celtics game tonight, there should be a lot of coverage. There should be a lot of talk of it. Only 4 teams have ever done what the Cavs are doing. Should we care more? And do they go to 16-0?
We should definitely care more. I don't think they go 16-0. You're talking about a Boston team who has kind of played pretty well, and I believe that they haven't got to the start and haven't looked as good as they want to. Porzingis is on his way back. He will not be available tonight. I think Boston finds a way to knock down some shots and kind of take the win here tonight. But I think we all need to talk about it. They played so well, but shout out to Kenny Atkinson, completely turning that around as the coach there. A team that was good last year, but an even better, well-oiled machine this year for Cleveland.
Snoopy, quickly, we got about 20 seconds for you. Does fantasy basketball at a time like this is it even a thing right now?
I'm in a couple of leagues. I'm 3-1 to start my year. It's a little different. You have to go interchange your lineup every single day to make sure you have all of your available players in the lineup. But yeah, fantasy basketball's a thing.
Peyton, do you play fantasy basketball also?
I don't. I take my daily picks on PrizePicks because I'm an absolute PrizePicks fanatic. So I mean, I'm just dominating PrizePicks. I'm going to stick with it.
I do both. So
I love these two together. I absolutely love these two together. Soupy's trying to drop a little. I do both. You can't get on me, Peyton. I do both. Well, Peyton's got to go to class. So how about that, Soupy? We never went to class. We don't even know what class is. Yeah. All right, still to come. Oh, it's a vibe on Tuesday. I love this crew together. Great live number. If you're watching on our YouTube, hit that like button on the way in. It really helps the show grow. Still to come. If you weren't here at the top of the hour, don't even worry about it. We've got you covered as we look back and look forward to our day. That's going to be an absolute banger. It's DTL on a Tuesday, and it's a vibe. All right, we continue on here on our YouTube channel, and there is a topic we didn't get to, and he may be the next big star for a lot of reasons. Paul Skenes, he's going to be your National League Rookie of the Year, or he already is, but it's what he does off the field that gets him a lot of attention. Is this kid living the best life of anyone we know?
I love Paul Skenes. Yeah, he's living the best life. Plus, he's a LSU alum. What more could you ask for? Yeah, I'll be excited to see what he comes into this next season, especially with this Pirates organization. So yeah, love Paul Skenes. Love everything he does on and off the field. He's a great example for the youth.
He really is a good dude, DG. He, all kidding aside, and this dude, he could be that next. But pitchers getting $500 million. I don't know that we'll ever see it, but if somebody does, this could be the guy.
Yeah, Skenes is really living it up and has done a good job here lately. And so I love Skenes and how he's playing. He is a good guy, but he kind of goes in a very professional. He might not seem like it sometimes, but when it's his job, he looks like it's very professional, goes and does it, and kind of a lunch pail kind of guy. I love him.
Soupy, you didn't seem like you liked those puns very much.
I am the pun master around here, but I love Skenes. The Pirates need to keep him. They need to spend some money and keep him, and it's going to be very expensive. He just can throw the ball 100 miles an hour, great breaking ball, and yeah, he does make sure he gets it done every time he's out on the mound.
See, what you can't do is use the same pun right after he used it
I do it better, though.
Wow.
It's better when I do it.
Peyton, what's it like in your world? Are you allowed to use the same joke twice?
Allegedly, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you, Peyton.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I'd serve it up on a silver platter. I know it's a little bit early. All the clubs are popping on a Monday out there in Dallas-Fort Worth, but I need a little more energy from my boy right now. Oh, man. I love this crew so very much. All right, I can't believe we're 3/4 of the way through. We are back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, everybody, welcome back. It is DTL on a glorious Tuesday morning. Do not forget at 4 p.m. Eastern time, every single weekday, we are on Stadium and all of its platforms, Amazon Prime, DirecTV as well. Now, if you weren't with us during the break on our YouTube page, producer man, can I see my 5-shot, please? Because I've got to see these faces because I'm having some issues. We had the overuse, and now Roger in the chat says that pun is overdone. Now we're just getting bad ones. So I want everybody in the chat to vote. Are you allowed to use a pun twice in the same discussion? I need a yes or I need a no. And basically, you're voting for Soupy or you're voting for DG because DG was the originator. But Soupy says he's the master of the pun at DTL. And Peyton had nothing for us.
I just typed nope, but it didn't go through. So you can count one for no.
Thank you, Peyton. Thank you, Peyton. Real quick, before we get to the whip around, a couple other topics that are definitely going to be futures betting. And DG, Juan Soto is living up to what he said he was going to do. He goes, I am open for everybody. And he is meeting with everybody, including the Dodgers this week. There's a lot of different ways you can bet on this. But for Juan Soto, can you imagine a scenario where the Dodgers, who out here in La La Land, the report is they far exceeded their financial expectations when they brought Shohei over. So he would fit inside their budget, but we're talking about a $700 million player and a $600 million player on the same team? Is that possible?
I hope not. I really do hope not. Just for the simple fact that I hate the Dodgers, coach. I'm a Braves fan, and I don't want to see them get another just kind of a foundation piece for them. The reason that they can do this is because of the Ohtani contract. Whatever that was, however that was allowed, that should be just kind of recalled. We need to recast the votes for his contract because what they're having to pay besides what he's actually getting paid, it doesn't add up. And so that's why they have room to get Soto. And if they get him, I will be sick.
And that's part of their thing, Charles, with baseball that I think kind of drives us crazy is that with no salary cap, you can load up and you've got the haves. But the Dodgers hadn't won a lot of World Series despite having the biggest checkbooks. But now with Shohei and the way they won the World Series this year, if they get Juan Soto, they could be set up for the next 4 or 5 years.
Can only imagine Soto in that lineup. It looks like the Mets could also throw a wrench in there as well. So we'll have to see how this one develops. It looks like the Blue Jays may even be trying to throw their hat into it. But, yeah, I would love to see him on there. I'm all for power teams going through the season. That's the great thing about baseball. No salary caps. I love it. So, hey, I have no problems with it. The Braves will still be good regardless.
Yeah, they're always good. Soupy, is this going to be bad for baseball and for our betting prowess to have such a dominant team? We could see -2.5 all the time next year, which is something we normally don't see. Normally the run line is 1.5.
With baseball, it's always a game-by-game situation. You always say momentum is the next day's pitcher. So if they are getting 2.5s against bad teams, you got to look at the pitching matchup. That's maybe a great time to take the underdog at +2.5. I'm hoping that he goes back to the Yankees. The Yankees need to pay up. They haven't done that besides with Aaron Judge. They've let a lot of these big guys go by. And now you looked on your field, the biggest team celebrating on your home field. It's time for the Yankees to bring out the Brinks truck for Soto.
They are still living in the ghost of A-Rod's past there in the Bronx for some reason, even though they used to, Peyton, way before you were born. They spent all the money. And then once George Steinbrenner passed away, it was like all of a sudden we're going to operate on a budget in the most expensive city in the world to live in. Those two things really don't match up. But the Yankees, for their championship hopes, they got to have Soto back.
Yeah, they do. And Yankees or Dodgers, I personally hate them both. So I don't want anybody to have either of them to have Soto. I want the Mets to get him or just some other team. But no other team can really afford him. And, if the Dodgers get him back, and like you said, Coach, with the budget that the Dodgers have, it works within their budget. What budget are we talking about? The Dodgers spend whatever money that they want. It's ridiculous, and I hate it. And there needs to be a salary cap because this is getting a little ridiculous. I hate that their lineup is going 1 through 9, and they got guys like Gavin Lux who are hitting like 300 at the bottom of the lineup. It's ridiculous.
It really is. It doesn't seem very fair, but nobody wants to hear fair when you're talking about big-time sports. All right, if you weren't here at the top of the hour, and I see that live number, it just climbs throughout the hour. I know a lot of you weren't. You got jobs. You got things to do. We get it. We go through every single pick and a little something we like to call the whip around. All right, 10 seconds or less, one nugget on each play. DG, let's start with you.
We're going to go to the big blue here, Kentucky. Total team over 91.5. It's at -110. Going against Lipscomb. They're going to run out early and run away. 95-plus points for them. Then we're going to go Mr. Honey Bun himself, Desmond Bain. 6+ rebounds at +122. The guy gets it and goes, and he is the best for this team. Go ahead and play the 6+ rebounds.
Boom and boom. Charles, we got a little day soccer, two of my favorite words.
The Nations League wraps up, thankfully, until 2025. Czech Republic, Georgia, both teams to score. They've combined for 7 goals in their last 2 meetings, and also that both teams to score is cashed in their last 2. Lastly, Sweden, Azerbaijan. Sweden team total over 2.5. They have averaged 2.6 over their last 5 matches.
Boom and boom. Big Soupy.
The Lightning, they've scored 4 goals in back-to-back games. They're going to do it against the Penguins, the worst defense in the league. Get them on the 3-way money line. Cavs, Celtics, NBA Cup. They got to score points in the point differential. 2 of the best scoring offenses in the league. Give that over 232.
Boy, this is not your grandmother's Cavs anymore. Young Peyton, give me your 2.
Taking OKC Thunder to cover the spread at 8.5. Wemby's doubtful tonight, and he affects every play offensively and defensively for the Spurs. I just don't see the Spurs being able to keep up with the Thunder without him. Now, next pick, I'm going with the Wild over 3.5 team total goals. The Blues allow 3.5 goals per game against a Minnesota team that really explodes for 4 goals per game on the road. The Wild are coming off a loss to the Stars where they only scored 1 goal. I like their offense coming out strong tonight.
All right, very good. Okay, a couple of final housekeeping issues. First and foremost, we have a Howie Schwab crew play of the day. While I wait for producer man to tell me what that's going to be, we also have Rafi's stat of the day. So I'm waiting on the Howie Schwab. Producer man, if you can text me real quick and let me know, that'd be amazing. But in the meantime, there is Rafi's stat of the day. Kentucky basketball has hit the over in 18 of their last 22 home games. Very interesting. 22 home games. Oh, let's take the over. New head coach John Calipari is now in Arkansas. All right, the crew play of the day. What are we rooting on together? A lot of people in the chat were talking about it. Marquette minus the 3.5. That is what we are looking at. All right, finally, we've got issues in the chat, guys. Rob says Peyton is the new best capper on the show. Soupy, with you on the show, Rob has the audacity to say that. How does that make you feel?
You know what? All I do is I cash. If you don't want to tail, then you don't want to win money.
Charles?
It's a team effort. If Peyton's the best, it just makes us all better as a collective group.
Oh, my God. DG, give me something.
Mr. Switzerland down there. I love it. Listen, let's go at it. Soupy went 4-0 last night, but that wasn't this. That was football. I don't see football in his picks tonight, so he's probably going 0-3.
All right, young Peyton, 10 seconds.
Yeah, one of the football picks in his prize picks, and you know, it was cute, but I'm staying with the NBA Cup and pure domination tonight for the NBA Cup for myself. I'm going 5-0 tonight, Coach.
It was cute, he said. He called you cute. God, I love the vibe. Great live number, great chat. You guys are popping today. It's now understanding this. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know. What the? You got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. Ryan Tiger, Lobo, my man from the Dirty Big Chuck, Snoopy, Young Peyton, DG, producer man, always behind the scenes making the show look like $1 million. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. Truly what we're all about every single day right here on Driving the Line. Good luck.